All right, how's it going today there, Dick? So the exercises I'm going to recommend that you can do on a regular basis, I got 7 of them. We talked about you not having a pull-up bar, but I'm going to show you that anyway in case you run across one or decide to go get one, because I think it's really good as far as your hands, your wrists, your elbows and shoulders, and you can do a lot of different stuff on a pull-up bar. But the Hindu push-ups, the first exercise that I'm going to show you, I think is great for stretching the front and back side of the body. It's really going to stretch out hands, wrists, things that you're going to be closing up during bowling and practicing and things like that. And another great thing about it is you can get your cardio matched to it. So, it's going to be similar to a yoga push-up. So we're going to have our feet about shoulders width, and you can bend your knees, go ahead and put your hands to the ground here. Your heels are going to lift. Your hands are going to be a little bit closer inside your shoulders, but we want to find a distance between our hands and feet where we can get our heels pretty close to the ground. So you're going to kind of reach them to the ground, and you want to push your hips back. Your knees can be soft here. So you should feel a really good stretch in your upper back, your triceps, your hands, your wrists. So this is where we want to inhale. So you'll pull air in through your nose the best that you can. And then you're just going to drop your hips to the ground. You're going to exhale and look up. And you can physically just rest your hips on the ground here. We can pull our shoulders back and lift your chest here. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale through your nose, lift your hips up, and put your heels to the ground. And you're going to exhale down and look up. So we're repeatedly stretching the front and back side of the body on those. And we're breathing really good with those. So we're getting a whole lot of benefit on just one exercise. So let's go ahead and get 30 seconds on the clock, and we'll practice doing Hindu push-ups for 30 seconds here. So again, your hands are close, your palms are wide open, fingers are all spread out because we really want to take time and stretch those out. And we get our feet set nice and wide. We always can adjust, so don't overthink it. We're going to inhale, hips are up. Exhale, hips are down. Time's going. Inhale up. Exhale down. Make sure we're looking up when the hips are down. Inhale and exhale. Keep those shoulders pulled back. Keep that chest lifted when your hips are down. Inhale and exhale. You can do whatever repetition pace feels good for you. Inhale, exhale, and time. From there, I'm going to recommend an exercise called sprinter lunges. So it's still going to come from close to a push-up position, but our hands are going to be close, just like on your Hindu, maybe inside the shoulders. But we go from our tall plank or push-up position, and we're just going to walk our foot forward. We want to walk it wide outside of our handstands, and it's fine if you come up a little bit short like this. Just make sure that you're prepared for it and you're not just jamming your knee down. Not that this is dangerous, but we don't want to do anything that's going to lead us to injury or anything like that. So the foot is, heel is either off the ground, but the foot is out nice and wide. We're stretching the hip flexor of this back leg, okay? So we're getting stability in this front, and we're using our core muscles to operate the legs. We're just taking some time. We're going to put that back to where it started. And then we're going to bring the other leg up nice and wide. I'm going to stretch out and just take some time here. Okay, so we're using our abdominals just when we're switching here, and we're stretching out that rear leg hip flexor, and we're getting nice and stable and flexible in this front leg as well. So alternating sprinter lunge here. 30 seconds. Ready, set, and begin. Then your push-up position. And walk it up there. Lay that knee on the ground. You can circle that front knee a little bit and go ahead and switch. And again, you can go at your own pace. I'm just trying to go a little bit slower on these so you can follow along and figure the movements out so they feel good for you. Your breathing should just be nice and relaxed on these. You can kind of breathe whenever you want. Inhaling here, exhaling here. Inhaling here, exhaling here. We'll do one more switch where we inhale and exhale. All right, so those are sprinter lunges. One more plank position I'm going to recommend is an alternating side plank. Take rest in between these, especially if you're feeling tightness in the hands and the wrists. That can tend to bother some people. But we're gonna open up those palms one more time. And we're, just like the other two exercises, we're starting in our plank position, and we're gonna turn. So this palm is right under the elbow, which is right under the shoulder. Hands opened up, so we've got good alignment here. I'm gonna recommend you keep this bottom knee down, okay? This top leg's nice and straight. We want our shoulders to line up and match, and then we wanna just be able to flex this bottom side of your trunk, your oblique muscles here. So you can just breathe, relax a couple times here, hold it. We're gonna go back to our knee down, or your girl push-ups that you like to do. And then we're gonna go to the other side. That knee stays down. We're getting into good alignment with the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder. And then we're just raising this top hand up, and we're able to flex this bottom side of your trunk. Both knees are down, and we're gonna switch sides. Time is gonna go on this. So this should feel really good, nice and stable for the hand and the wrist. Back to position, and switch on your own. Good, solid breathing patterns with these. And if you do ever want to advance it and make it more difficult, not that that has to ever be the case, you can simply just keep your knees off the ground, and that will really make it a lot more difficult. One more, go ahead and switch. And time. All right, so we're gonna go to exercise number 4, which is an alternating pike raise. It's an abdominal exercise, but it's also a good hamstring stretching exercise. And like everything that we do, it's a good cardio exercise. So you're gonna be on your back. Your arms are gonna be overhead. We wanna lift the shoulders. My blades aren't coming off the ground, but I'm just putting tension into my abs enough to push my low back into the ground. So you wanna take this arch out of your low back. Make sure most of your mid back is pushed into the mat or the floor. Tailbone's pushed into the ground. So arms are gonna be overhead. We're gonna get that little lift that I just talked about. And then at the same time you're lifting your shoulder slightly, one leg is gonna come up. And if we have real limited flexibility or hamstrings like a lot of people do, you can bend that knee slightly, we can grab the calf, and we can hang on to a good hamstring stretch here. The straighter you keep that leg, the more you keep your toe pulled down and heel pushed through, the more intense that stretch is gonna be. But we're gonna exhale here. We're gonna reach, inhale, and we're gonna switch legs. Inhale, full rest, everything goes to the ground, head, shoulders, everything. Switch legs with a exhale. Shoulder blades can come up. Inhale, exhale. Time is gone. 30 seconds. Inhale, exhale. Ten more seconds here. Inhale, and time. All right, so we're gonna get our feet flat on the ground. We're gonna stay here. Head and shoulders are gonna be supported. You're gonna reach your arms out straight, so your middle finger touches your heels. So that will set up your heels right underneath your knees. Elbows are pushed into the ground. And we're simply gonna lift our hips up. When we do this, we wanna make sure that we've got good contact with our feet, so the ball of the foot right under your big toe, as well as your heel, you wanna push off the ground with those. And again, don't overthink this, but we wanna eventually, or over time, be able to isolate the calves, hamstrings, glutes, abdominals, upper back, like you're at the top of a pull-up. So when we come up, we want to squeeze those muscles, especially the glutes, in order to try to keep the lower back muscles out of this. We want to use all those rear back leg muscles in the back of the legs. We want to open up the hip flexors. We want to use the abs. We want to use those upper back muscles. And then we're just going to come back down and rest. I keep getting a cramp in my hamstring. All right, so bridge lift. Okay, head and shoulders are supported, feet are in place, ready, set, and
begin. You can inhale up, exhale down, or you could inhale at the bottom, exhale through it. But we don't have to put a lot of tension into this one. So exercise is as intense as you make each rep. Okay, so you can make your 30 seconds a little bit easier by not locking out as hard, or you can make it more challenging by locking out harder. The 30 seconds is always the 30 seconds. The difference is what you do and how you do it in that 30 seconds. All right, so now on to the Hindu squats, which I think you were doing those already, you had mentioned, but it's just like a catcher's position. The main thing that we want to do is be able to keep our torso right over our hips. So all the compensation is in the foot and the ankles and the knees. So we want to get a full deep knee bend with these. So having something like a wall or something, a chair, or anything that'll give you balance and allow you to keep this tall torso position, okay? So hamstrings and calves are touching, heels and glutes are touching. We inhale down, we exhale up and come out of it, okay? So we'll spend 30 seconds doing some Hindu squats. Ready, set, nice and tall, and begin. We'll just take our time, make sure we're prepared to get all the way down, and we exhale up. Inhale into it, exhale up and out. Stay nice and tall, keep your chest lifted. Go whatever pace is good for you. Just make sure we keep breathing, keep moving well, and manage your fatigue. And time. All right, the last one I'm going to show you here is a hang hold, just so you have the idea of the benefit of it. Okay, so let me get you set up on one of my pull-up bars over here. So we can do a lot from this hanging position that's just really good for the whole body. Okay, so whenever you're getting into a pull-up type position, one thing, well, I'll show you chin up and pull-up positions here. So pull-ups just mean your palms are forward. A chin-up grip is meaning your palms are facing you. So this will be a little bit harder on the tendons and just people find more discomfort with it. So pull-up would probably be the hand position you would want to do. So we want to line up our hands right over our shoulders. And without pulling our feet off the ground, we just want to be able to hang. So you can see that all this weight is stretching out the hands, the wrists, the elbows, and the shoulders. Okay, so just minimally doing this is going to really help lengthen the spine, stretch it out, give it some good decompression. And it's really just going to do the same thing for those hands and wrists, because those are really not taken care of in society. A lot of hand and wrist and elbow problems. So this is the first thing we want to do, is just be able to hang, and then we can start to do some shoulder packing. And all that means is this is a shoulder not packed, this is packing. It just means you're using the muscles around the shoulder to pull it into the socket, and it strengthens the shoulders because you're strengthening the supporting cast of muscles and not so much the deltoid. It's the lat and all these small muscles that surround it. So it just helps strengthen up the assisters, the shoulder packing does. So we're down here, and then we're pulling our shoulders in. And this can turn into core work and leg work just by how we hold our body in this position. So just these holds are a great thing that you can do for your hands, wrists, whole body. You can breathe on those. You know, I wouldn't recommend a door because most likely you're gonna put some weight on it, and that one's a solid door. I almost pulled it off just hanging. So, but those are some of my recommendations. Follow through on them. Do some workouts with them. Let me know what you think, and you know, if you got any questions or want a different routine, let me know, Dickie. All right, man, thanks for watching, and let me know if I can help.